We're Group 8. We're doing Chicago crime. I'm Anthony.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Cameron.
I'm Huyen.
I'm Alex.
All right, so the background on our data set is Chicago is, of course, in the media, a lot of the time portrayed as a violent and gang-ridden city. And as a result of that, we wanted to delve deeper into the data set by Chicago's police clear system, which consists of data from 2018 to the present. And with this, we only wanted to focus on murders to better understand where and how the violence is occurring in the city. And with that, we wanted to answer three main research questions. The first is how have murder rates changed, and where do they happen most, and what types of places are most dangerous? And upon looking at the data, we saw that surprisingly it didn't follow a linear format and instead had spikes and drops, especially after 2020, where a lot of different factors, such as President Biden's American Rescue Plan in 2024, led to varying levels of crime in the city. So, we did a lot of things. The project goes beyond stats, and hopefully it can inform policing decisions in the area with our data.
Yeah, so this is our first visualization, and it supplements our research question of how have murder rates changed over time in Chicago. And you can see that the trends are not in a straight line. There are a lot of spikes and dips in the data. And this influenced us to look at external factors that could contribute to these trends. And so in our research, we discovered that COVID had a big influence on the murder rates in Chicago, and then also laws passed. So one law that we looked at specifically was the American Rescue Plan, which was passed in 2021. And this helped fund local safety initiatives and police presence. And you can see in the data that after the year 2021, there's a noticeable decline in murders. And then obviously for 2025, it's dipping because the year's not finished yet.
So to explore our second question on where do murders happen the most, we've plotted two bar charts, one showing the top 10 Chicago communities by number of murders, and the other showing the top 10 communities by population. And we can see that the most populous communities are not necessarily the ones with the most murders. And in fact, it's smaller communities like West Garfield Park that had far more murders, despite having lower populations. And in fact, of the top 10 most populous communities, only one of them is also one of the top 10 communities by number of murders. And this suggests external factors specific to certain communities have a more significant effect on murder rate than population.
This is our third visual, and it addresses the question of what types of areas are the most dangerous in Chicago. The different categories are alley, apartment, auto, street, and other. And we found that most murders, so over 50%, occurred on the street. Um, and especially in the areas that had higher murder rates per capita, there the vast majority was on the street, whereas some of the lower murder areas were a little bit more even. All of this suggests that there could be a link to gang activity and public altercations rather than private crimes that would happen more in the household. And this is helpful because it identifies the physical spaces where violence might be occurring so that people know what areas to avoid versus what are safer. We'll break this further down in the interactive bar chart, but you'll be able to see how certain location types vary by neighborhood.
All right, so I'll pull up the interactive here. All right, so are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So with our interactive map, we were trying to answer or try to look at see if these trends kind of hold up around the communities and see really what regions are maybe most dangerous and locations in general about Chicago. So as we can see, we're able to hover over some of the community areas and see kind of specific information about it. We can also click on it. So like West Garfield Park, all this will update here. Kind of shows, the most dangerous areas. We see these trends hold up in terms of that murders going down over time. We're also able to adjust these years to see, also these similar goals. And I think just insights we get are kind of the trends do hold up across, especially where the murders occur most often, like Austin as well has a lot of murders occur. So those trends hold up, especially with murders over time, as well as we're able to see places in the North region, especially are maybe safest areas. So those are probably two of the biggest insights we get with this project. And that's about it.